Okay, so with Gloria dead, this has brought our body count up to 3 so far. We've had Gertie, then Wilbur, and now Gloria. I think it's interesting to note that the murders seem to be increasing in viciousness, or things that the killer would have to do as the evening goes on. If Gertie had been standing close to the window, all that would be required for her death would be just a quick push out the window. So, no face-to-face contact, no real violence or anything like that. Wilbur was a violent death, but he said he was hit on the back of the head with a heavy blow, so all that would require would be to not have him be looking at you, pick up the poker and bash him from behind. That would be very possible to do without much of a struggle. This one was strangulation with her own feather boa, so required sort of a face-to-face struggle and strangling. That's the most violent one we've found so far and the most vicious. So whoever the killer is seems to be getting angrier or more violent or something as the night goes on. Now, let's go over the people that we think might have had a motive for this. Let's leave aside any discussion, I guess in the future, of is Laura crazy? Because we've seen this continual theme of she finds someone alone, leaves the room, comes back and they're dead, and then sees the body once and then it vanishes. So we might possibly think that Laura is crazy, but there's not really much more to say about that, unless we see some more evidence that indicates that her mental state is slipping. We'll just assume that that's a theory that we have in the back of our mind and let it be. As far as suspects for Gloria's death go, the big one that jumps out right away is Clarence. Clarence just had a messy breakup with Gloria, or at least Gloria tried to break up with him, and he seemed really upset by it and has been nursing that ever since, apparently. Not only that, Clarence is the only person on the island who's had a potential motive at least, for every death so far. Gertie might have known about the horse racing scheme, and Wilbur would have been in on that as well. So it could have been that he killed the first 2 people to sort of protect his secret from Henri, and maybe this third one was just a murder of anger. Maybe he's sort of, gone berserk or gone crazy because of the murders he's done so far. Nobody else really has as strong a motive as he does, so he's suspect 1. There are a few other people that are sort of showing up on our suspicious radar, though, so let's go over them briefly. Colonel Dejean is there because it seems like he is spying on people, and it hasn't been particularly honest about his mobility and his intentions for bringing us out to the island. So, while we don't know that he's a murderer or that this is that is something that he set up, he's at least doing something fishy with everybody being out here, so he should be on our radar. Ethel is drunk, and that, it could be, at least in this game's world, that drunk equals violent, and, maybe she's just putting all of her strength into things and managing to kill people. We also know that she detested Gertie and her children as well, Gloria and Rudy. I'm not sure what her motive would be for killing Wilbur. It could have been that he came across her dragging a body or something like that. Although that wouldn't really explain why he was sitting and reading a magazine when he was killed. It could have been that she was just sort of in a drunken rage and managed to kill him that way. Rudy has been getting creepy as well. He's seeming to be violent, and we know has gambling debts, so it's possible that he has killed all these other people to sort of increase his share of the money so he can pay off his gambling debts. Or maybe he's just really violent. Lillian is crazy, or at least seems to be undergoing some kind of mental break as the evening goes on. So we're not really sure what she's capable of, or she's sort of an X factor right now. We're not really sure why she would do anything in particular that she does. Phoebe and Jeeves I don't think are particularly on our murder radar right now. Jeeves is just a huge X factor. Nobody really knows what he's up to. Phoebe is certainly conniving, and she certainly is out to get Henri's money, but it's not clear how far she's willing to go in terms of that, or how much of it she would have been satisfied with, or anything like that. Celie practices voodoo. I mean, that's really all that we've had so far. She seems more or less friendly. I mean, I guess she's in everybody's business, but that doesn't seem particularly threatening. I would consider her, along with Fifi, to be sort of our low-tier suspect.